Hello, everyone. This is Amanda again after a long absence since August. And I am sorry I've been off so long, but ever since Lionsgate, actually, this Lionsgate was a tough one as I was going through a lot of inner work that I had to do. So I am back. And I'm sorry about being off so long, but I've been practicing meditations with Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I find I like his meditations, but the way he actually asks you to breathe in and breathe out is so different, completely different from anyone else I've known. So like I said, I'm sorry I was off for so long, and I'm going to try to be back with my videos. But yeah, so he tells me, when he tells you to deep breathe, he tells you to, and then you hold it like for about 5 to 10 seconds, and it's difficult if you don't do it, if you don't get into the method of doing that. And it's just it's different. But once you start doing it all the time, it gets easier. So I've been doing that, and I did a walking meditation with him that what he tells you to do is you stand outside and you're standing there in meditation, and he's telling you stuff because you have your phone in your hand, and he's telling you, to meditate and stuff like this. And all of a sudden, after a while, he tells you to start walking. So you're walking down this block, and then he tells you to start visualizing things. So I did that, and it takes about, I think, about 15 minutes, if that. So it's quite the meditation. I've never done one before, and so yeah, it's interesting. So I did it, and it took me about five, like not five, but about a half an hour, I'd say. And here I was walking around the neighborhood, but it takes longer because then he tells you to stop and meditate wherever you are. That's why this is good, if you're away from your house, maybe to go to a schoolyard or something to do this, because then you won't get lost. So it's good you do it in a circle, like in a ball field. So anyway, it's been a quiet summer. My daughter got to go camping, Dana. She got to go camping with her cousins, and I was happy about that because I got to stay home. And so I guess I was doing a lot of inner work with myself. I looked at myself, and I found that I needed to go deep within myself about well, I realized that the reason I was getting into trouble all the time was that I got into too much gossip online, and then I was spreading it to other people, like my other friends, and that is never any good. And even though I thought it was innocent, gossip is never innocent. Gossip is never, ever, ever innocent at all. And I advise nobody to do it at all, because it really gives you a bad name, and people then learn not to trust you, and it can go into all other kinds of things. So I looked at myself, and then I learned how to be more discreet, and learned how to learn more about discretion. And at the same time, that's when you learn not to get into the gossip online, because it gets you into trouble with others. And it was I didn't think, I really, honestly, I tell you, I really didn't think that I was doing anything wrong. I really didn't think that I was doing anything wrong at all. In fact, I thought it was just innocent. But you see, tattletale, then you get the name of tattletales, tattlers, and that. And that's never a good thing to be, is a tattletailer. So, yeah, so I was learning things the hard way. And so this is why, another reason I've been quiet. And then my divorce came up. And it was on August 16th. And everything was going fine. Like, what I had to do was, he was on the phone, because you have to do your own divorce. I'm doing your own divorce, your self-divorce. And so I was doing my own do-it-yourself divorce with this guy on the phone, practicing lawyer, student lawyer. And he's on the phone, and I'm online with my papers that they sent me. And then we go over the papers together, and I actually can write in what he tells me to write in on the papers online. So I was doing that, and everything was going fine, right? Until we hit a glitch. And what it was is that I actually hadn't really sat down to talk with my ex about my custody arrangement with him, about Dana, our daughter. And so, yeah. Then I guess the teacher came in, and because he went to ask her something, and then she came in and she said, well, it seems like this custody arrangement, you keep changing things a little. And he was getting, the student was getting worried about, what exactly is your custody arrangement here? Is it this or is it that? I guess they thought it was 50-50, in which case that I guess that means to them, now 50-50 can mean different things to different people. I guess it means to them that I would have her for 1 week, and then her dad would have her for another week. But of course, then I started saying that no, because I thought, I thought that what they meant is what I meant, but we weren't on the same page. So then I told her, no, then they asked me, did you actually sit down, talk about your custody? Do you have anything written down? And I had to say, no, I don't have it written down. And I didn't think we had to. And she was kind of saying, well, I think we need something more written down to help us out here, so it's more sturdy and stable than just saying, well, it's this and it's that. And I guess that's what it was sounding like to them. But my idea is that our idea, mine and my ex's, is that Dana can stay with me every other weekend if she wishes, if she wants. And then she can stay with her dad, and she actually lives with her dad most of the time. So we ended up I ended up being so sad and everything, and I started crying, and I really felt bad about my goof up, as it was my fault. And so I absolutely went to my ex, my soon-to-be ex, and I said, we got to write something down here so it's straight about what we're doing with the custody arrangement. And so we did that, and now it's all straightened out, and I sent them what we're going to be doing, the arrangement. Now they don't call it custody anymore either, they call it parenting. So, and actually, if you say custody during this thing of doing your own divorce thing that I'm doing, they say, please say parenting, not custody. So they changed some wordings. Okay, interesting. So they made a new date, and it's coming up here at the end of September, very soon. And so I'll be doing that. And they have the arrangement. I emailed it to them. They have the new arrangement and everything. So everything should be fine now. And praying, hoping that there's no more glitches. So I have done a lot of inner work, and I've done a lot of crying, digging deep into myself. And for a while there, I thought, this is it. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, it seems everything that I'm trying to do sometimes doesn't work out. And I was getting very down on myself. And then I'm listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I'm listening to Marissa Peers, who actually says that you can train your mind to actually train it so that, like, you say to yourself every day that you say things like positive comments. You say that, I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am loving. I am huggable. I am lovable. Things like that. You say, positive comments to yourself every day in the mirror. And I've been trying to do that, trying to remember to do that. And it does help, because you have to see, our brains have been so much on the old setting where, in survival mode, where we're used to having the negative pop in there. And so we have to retrain our brains up here with a new setting. It's kind of like focusing on a new dial kind of thing. And that you can talk to yourself, even into, if you're going on a ride at the X or doing something that you wouldn't normally do, you can just say, oh, I'm having a great time here. This is great. This is perfect. This is fun. I'm having so much fun. And I guess, according to Marissa Peers, it does work. So whether you're on a ride, or whether you're doing something daring, like you're jumping out of an airplane, psych yourself up by saying, oh, this is fun, this is great, just make sure you have your safety gear on hand and everything, and you're doing things right, and you'll be fine, really. So I've been doing that, and I've been talking to myself more with positive affirmations, and it does work. I mean, it really actually does work. Also, I was watching who I watch sometimes, David Wilcock's last video that he did, and he mentioned too that he doesn't want his listeners, he mentioned that he doesn't want his listeners, always coming to him and saying, well, you have to do this, and you have to tell us this, and putting all the stuff that he knows he's doing on his shoulders. I mean, why does he have to do it all? I mean, why does he have to do it all? He actually said, why aren't you doing something? Why aren't you going out there? Why aren't you making the videos? Because we all can. We all have one mouth, two ears, two eyes, and we can all do this work together. It's not just him. It's not just Amanda Ellis. It's not just Marissa Peers. It's all of us coming around together that works. And that's the way that as a collective, that we can change our thinking, our format of where we're heading into this new earth, which is Gaia. Gaia is moving into the new earth, whether or not she's waiting for us. She is going to move. In fact, she is moving already. She's just, I think she's actually tired of waiting for us, and I don't blame her. I really don't blame Mother Gaia for, wanting to, we're like fleas on her back, really. And she could easily, say, what, shake like a dog and say, I'm going that way. You want to follow me? Come right ahead. You don't want to follow me? You can do that too. But she's going anyway. So we have to kind of help ourselves, kind of. And I've learned that too, that no one's gonna do the work for you. We've also got to do this ourselves, to do the work. It's not just placed on one person. Don't place it on David. Don't place it on Amanda. I'm Amanda. You know, if we each got out there and did all these videos and did the work and was kind to others all day and every day, and if we even said one kind word to somebody during the day, it would help. I mean, each of us a little bit doing something, each one of us doing our own thing together, we will move into the new earth. But if you expect someone like David Wilcock, like Amanda, to just do the work for you, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. Or me. We all have to pull together, and when we pull together, we're a unit, right? We're a unit. And together we're stronger. Okay? We're stronger. We're not as when we're by ourselves and we're all out here spread around doing our own darn thing. Sorry for swearing. Doing our own darn thing and not trying to help each other, not trying to help each other move into the new earth. Well, then guess what's going to happen? You know. Also, it's this thing too. I'm not going to say that everyone knows what that is. I am still not getting it. I don't need it because I'm not afraid of this virus. Some people are. That's fine. That is just great. I am not afraid of the virus, though. If you ask me, it doesn't bother me. Not if you don't let it bother you. So, yeah, crying about this virus and everything, and the people that have gotten this, fine. I have some very good friends that have gotten this, but I've also heard some horror stories about that too. One is you can actually find his video, Eric Clapton. He took the one, and then he took the other, and the one that was the second one, well, he had issues with the second one, so he could not really play the guitar anymore. He found that he couldn't really play his guitar, and it bugs him, of course, because as we know, he's a famous guitar player and also a famous singer. So that really kind of bugged him when he found he couldn't play, you know. So people are finding out that there are these other things that are happening with this. Everyone has their own choice, don't they? So as we know, as I've learned, I've learned gossip is poison. Gossip is poison. Whatever someone tells you, and they have not said, anything to say to anybody, don't say it to anybody anyway. Keep it to yourself. Then you will have nothing to answer for. Keep it to yourself. You will have nothing to answer for, I guarantee you. You'll have not a problem. And that's what I've been practicing. Also, another thing, lately we've heard that Abba, which is, anyone who knows me, is one of my favorite bands ever. And they actually have come out with, they've actually come back together and they've actually come out with a new album. I guess it's going to be released in November, called Voyage, Abba Voyage. And they've come out with 2 new singles. Okay, that's all fine and everything like that. And they've also come out with a new concert idea of theirs. Now, at first, if it wasn't for this COVID thing and for this darn thing, right, I would feel, oh man, it's the greatest thing, because they're saying that ABBA's reuniting, kind of. Okay, now when I say kind of, yeah, it's great. ABBA's reuniting. I mean, they have reunited on this new album of theirs, 10 new songs. The 2 new songs that they have released are great. I Still Have Faith in You. I think I actually have a group of friends of mine that that song is for. And I have told them that I still have faith in you. I love that song. It's gorgeous. They could still write, they could still sing. However, these new concerts that the Four is bringing out, it's not going to be the original group. What it is, it's that they have made electronically and online, like with the videos, avatars. Avatars that are made up on your computer. They made up these avatars on their computer, and they've made many avatars, and they have made themselves look younger as they did back in the 70s and 80s. They've made these beings that are avatars. They're avatars from the 70s and 80s, so they look young again. And then, of course, they add the music to these figures, and they dance about on the on the stage and everything. And they dance to the music, and it's just like you're seeing them as they used to be. Now, at first, yes, when they told us that they were coming out with this, I was ecstatic. I thought, yes, because I, for one, when I was 13, I missed that group. I missed them. And at that time, a friend of mine had the album Voulez-Vous. And as soon as, we were playing it one time at her house, and I just fell in love with the band. And so I bought my own album of Voulez-Vous at that time, and I just fell in love with them, and I got all the albums up to them and everything like that, and played them all the time. And yes, I know all of their lyrics and everything like that, and have kept up with their news. Now, as we know, in 82, the band dispersed, and the way they dispersed was kind of kind of sporadic. Their last hit, I guess, was The Day Before You Came, which is a favorite of mine. I really like that. It's kind of haunting melody. So that was one. Under Attack and also The Day Before You Came was 2 of the last ones that they ever wrote back in the 80s. And then I think they came out with, or maybe they wrote those before. There was Cassandra, and then there was Elaine. 2 girls' names that they wrote songs about. I'm not sure when they wrote those, but I have watched a show on them, and they said that The Day Before It Came was actually one of the last hits that they wrote before they dispersed as a band. And they have said, like the Beatles, we're not going to get together ever, because they just didn't want to anymore. They want to go, their separate ways and do other things, of course. And as we know, the boys went on to write the musical Chess, which actually, Chess became very popular with the one single, One Night in Bangkok, which is a favorite of mine. And it went on to some fame. Much fame. And then, of course, Mamma Mia has come out. That was another play that has done very well, and it was turned into a movie, which I have seen. It was very good. And also, other movies have used Mamma Mia. No, actually, Abba's music in their movies. And anything that Abba comes out with, I've loved. I love these 2 new hit singles. I think it's perfect. I think it's great. Nothing wrong with that. I am an Abba fan. And so when I was hearing that they were coming out with this new idea for these avatars, and that they were putting these avatars out on their stage, and into the likes of them, and that they were going to be portraying the band as they were in the 80s. Okay, so at first I was excited. I was saying, oh, well, I miss them back in the 70s and 80s, so I get to see them again as they were back when they were younger and when they were doing all these hit songs. But then a friend of mine lately kind of made me think a little bit different, because what I gathered from it was that, yes, on the surface, and I'm not saying anyone doesn't have to go to this concert. I'm saying, sure, go to the concert, right? I think only the ones that get this can go to the concert anyhow, and I'm not getting it. So I won't be able to go to the concert anyway. But what I'm saying is that it looks good on the surface, these avatars, yes. And it's a good it seems like a good idea to do this with other bands who are defunct, like maybe the Beatles, the Beach Boys, you know, and have them in their heyday and dancing around in these avatars, you know, like when they were young. And on the surface, it's a good idea. It's bringing back nostalgia. Yes, and I'm all for nostalgia. But when one thinks about it, okay, I want to ask you all something. When we go to a concert, what do we pay for? What are we paying for? Are we paying for to hear the music from the concert? Well, that's part of it. Are we paying to see the band? The band? You know who's playing? Are we paying to see it? Yeah, that's another part of it. But I think the real reason we have paid up till now, the big bucks to go see a concert, like my big concert that I saw a few years back before COVID came on, was Fleetwood Mac, and I got to see them at Rogers Place and here in Edmonton, and I was flabbergasted. 3 hours of great, good music. And I was thinking about this, you know, this new idea with Abba and the Avatars, and I was thinking about that concert that I went to with Fleetwood Mac. And I was thinking, the reason, because I went on another ticket. I actually, you know, went with a friend who was actually going to invite her mom, and I actually got to go instead, which was very nice of her. But the reason I was thinking, the reason we buy these expensive tickets, it was expensive. We had good seats. Like, I mean, we could see, like, being that my friend was in a wheelchair or in her walker, she had to have room. So we were actually at a vantage point place in Rogers Place where we could actually see the stage quite good, quite clear. It was very good. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But getting back to this, why do we pay the big bucks? And I mean, like, back in the old days, you went to see a band like Rolling Stones, Beatles, Trooper, April Wine. That's some of the Canadian bands. Prism, Heart, okay, Abba, you know. Some of these concerts, like a supergroup like Abba, were like $300. $150 to $300, pretty much around there. They were expensive when they came to Abba. I mean, when they came to Canada in Edmonton last time, and they actually sold out within 2 hours. Nobody, you actually had to get on the phone and you actually had to pay with your credit card, I think, because they were actually sold out within 2 hours. So why, getting back to the question, why do we pay the big bucks to see our favorite bands? I'll tell you why. For one, music is good. 2, you can see the band. That's another one. 3, the band is really there. You know, if you ever think about it, the band, you know, a night like that doesn't happen all the time. Like, my ex is a very big Kiss fan, and he got to see Kiss a couple of times, I think he told me. The band Kiss, with all their makeup and that, Gene Simmons and that band, Dave. And he got to see them perform, actually, when they were famous and when they came to Edmonton. He actually got to see those concerts that they did. So why do we pay the big bucks? It's because, for if you really think about it, we're in the same building or in the same space, whether it's outside or inside. And I've seen quite a few good concerts in my day. We're in the same space or the same building. We're not that far from our favorite rock stars or whoever they may be. One time, my mom actually went to a concert too when she was younger. She went to see, actually, I was about 8, and this was in the 70s. She got to see Charlie Rich, and she dragged my dad along to that. And she was just ecstatic. But why do we go to these concerts? Like, I mean, we can always play their music at home here. We can watch videos now, bios on these people. Why do we pay the big money? And this is all going to make sense once I finish this. The reason we pay the big money to see these people, and this is taking nothing away from Abba and their avatars, okay? The reason that we pay big bucks to see these bands is because they are there. We are close to them. Even when I was in Finland, and I tell you, I got to go see some rockabilly bands, and they would perform in these 2-floor bars. Like I would go to a 2-floor bar, and they'd come and they'd perform there, and that was fun. And in the bar, you weren't too far from the stage or the band, and we had a blast. But I think the reason that people even get tickets or even pay good money to see these guys is because we're in the same space as they are with the real people. Now, getting back to the avatars, okay, that Abba wants to use now. Yes, it's a good idea. Yes, all for, like for the people that or at first I was all for it, right? The people that are far good. But think about it, okay? I don't know how much the tickets are going to cost. They're going to be doing this, I think, starting next May in 2022. And as I said, don't throw rocks at me. I'm not saying not to go or anything like that. I'm not, like crying to myself that I can't see this show. In fact, I actually asked a friend that if he gets to go, can he actually buy me a program, because I want the program. I actually wouldn't mind a program to that show. So, and he said, yeah, he would as soon as, as soon as they appear in Edmonton here, or if they bring the show to Edmonton. So my point is that when people go and see these avatars, what are they going to see? Like, why are they going? They're really not going to go for the band because well, let's face it, the band is really not performing. It's the avatars. It's a machine that's playing. And yes, they've come up with all these different avatars. They will have different clothes changes, like different clothing and everything like that. I'm sure it will be an amazing show. I'm sure. But when you think about it, it's like, well, it's like, think to yourself, like the reason that I went to see any of the bands that I've seen, and I paid money for in some instances, that I actually got to be in the same room with these people, with these famous people. Now with these avatars, you don't get that, okay? You get to watch their figures dancing about on the stage, having a great time, doing all the hits and everything like that. And like, I'm not putting that down, okay? I'm just making a point. And I want everyone to think about this. Why on earth do we go to these concerts in the beginning? Because to see and to be near our favorite stars. At least that's what I think anyway. That's only my opinion. Okay? Only my opinion. So anyway, that's my thoughts on this. And so I won't be going because I don't have this, obviously. But I still want to program, right? I still, my friend is nice enough that if he says if he can go and if they appear here in Edmonton, if they bring the show to Edmonton, yes, I would like a program. I sure. I still love Abba. I still love, their music. That doesn't stop me from loving their music and that. But I just saw a different, on the one hand, it looks good and it's a neat idea. It's different. But on the other hand, there's always two hands, right? There's always two sides to every coin, right? There's always, Anyway, I thought I'd just bring that out. And then I did a video with Rob. Well, it's a short video, really short video with this fella who is going to be talking for the Medes tribe, I guess. Rob Burnshaw. I did a small video here with him, and we were talking about that, and he's put sign on my lawn and everything like that. And he was a very nice gentleman too. And so, yeah, that's what that little video on my page is. And for my friends, I have put it in their chats on Facebook. So it's nothing big, but, But, yeah, so I'm sorry that I took so much time on Abba, but I just wanted you guys just to see yeah, on the one hand, it's a good idea. On the other hand, it's good to see the other point of view, I guess. So there's no reason to throw rotten tomatoes at me, or anybody who has, I'd say, an opposing point of view, And Christ consciousness. What can we say about that? I've been doing a lot of thinking about the Christ consciousness, and I also feel like sometimes I still listen to my music, but I also feel as of late that I've been wanting it to be quiet. That's why I probably think that I haven't really wanted to come and do a video for a while, although I know I've needed to. That to hear God's voice, usually you need the quiet. You need the meditations. You need to be still. And this Christ consciousness does talk to you when you're still and you're quiet. And yeah, when you're still and you're quiet, and that's when the Spirit, God, the force, well, however you name him, the Creator, speaks to you, is when you're quiet, very quiet. And so I think there was something else too, that I also was going to do some of my magic sticks. I will do that too. I talked about my divorce. Okay. So I'm going to get my magic sticks. I'll be right back. Got them. Okay. So we shall see what I'll take a couple out. And so okay, let's see which. One is blessings. Blessings, can you see there? Blessings, okay, good. Which is what I love. Blessings is always good. And the other one is guess what? Humble. It's humble. Yeah. So humble blessings, you could actually put them together like so. Let's see. Humble blessings. There. There you go. Humble blessings, yes. I think that this past time with me being not on video, I think I've learned how to be more humble and to really think about what I'm saying to others, which we all should do, and to really think about how and what we're saying to others, how we're treating others, and to not hurt others, you know? I mean, yeah, to not hurt others, to be there for others, to be a good friend to others. So, yeah. So, yeah, that was my magic sticks. Oh, I also forgot the good news, the real good news. I finally, because everyone knows that I have a book out and that I have written a book and that it's kind of like in a rough format. I actually got to put it together in a binding at the library here. And it actually looks like this. I think I've read from it. This one. Okay. And it's actually in a book form that you can actually get made at your library if you want to do the same thing. Diana's Grace and Sorrows. Now, the reason I am talking about this is because as of late, I thought, I'm going to look up some publishers as of myself because no one else is going to do this for me. I'm actually going to be looking up some, I thought one day, I thought I'm going to look up publishers. And so I did online and I found these publishers called Friesen Press in Canada. And so I looked them up. And they said that, well, I have to give them my email and my name and my phone number. And I just let it go. And so I sent it to them. And lo and behold, they actually called, which surprised me. I didn't think that they would do that. And they also sent me an email. So we've been playing kind of phone tag lately. She actually called me. A lady from there actually called me, which totally surprised me. I was actually at another appointment. So when she called and I had my phone with me, I said, can you actually call me at a later time? Because right now I'm at another appointment. She goes, well, that's okay. And I told her, well, we can make another appointment another day. We'll talk again. So she emailed me and I emailed her back and I said, that she said, let me know when you want to make another appointment. And I did. So she actually called me back today. And what they do is they help you get your book ready to be published. They will actually, I guess they send you out a package and which she is emailing me and I don't know what's in the package yet because I don't know. She's going to send it to me. And so whatever is in this package is in this package. And so I'll find out when I get it. But apparently, I guess they do help struggling writers to get their book ready and so it can be publishable and then you go on from there. So I think that's what this is. So anyway, I'm glad that I got a hold of these people and so I'm going to see if I can work with them. That's all I can say. So that was one piece of good news that I hope that things will work out. So I'm very, very, I talked to them today, and so they will send me out this package. So we'll go on from there. I'm very, very excited. And so, yeah, I'm sorry I've been away so long. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of inner work, and I'm hoping that my message today has helped everybody. I know I don't get on here as often. I will try to do more Facebook quick videos. This one actually, because I'm coming back, my daughter might help me put it on YouTube. My other YouTube video. I haven't gotten too many views on it, but it's in the 20s. That it doesn't, like doesn't really bother me. I'm kind of down about it, but it was about Britney Spears. The good news about that, though, is that a friend of mine actually said to me that because I was talking about Britney Spears being under conservatorship by her father, right? So, what he sent me was news that her father, Jamie, actually is stepping down as her conservator, which made me feel a lot better. So maybe something good come out of my video and also of Amanda Ellis's video, that we actually, we're pinpointing this problem about Brittany, that she was being, held, almost held against her will. Why would anyone want to be held against their will? Which is what was being done to her. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. Maybe when she was not doing well, like she was ill there for a while, a time back. Yeah, maybe for a while, have people look in on her, and this conservatorship was okay. But to keep it going and going and going, it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay for anybody, not just Britney Spears, but for anyone who's famous or not famous, non famous. I could never even imagine living my life like that at all. Ever. Ever. I'm for freedom, and we have to keep fighting for our freedom. And this conservatorships that they have for some of these stars, like example Britney, is just not. It's gone on for too long, and it's not needed for her anymore. She has shown what a beautiful and gorgeous entertainer she is, what a strong entertainer she is. And if she was really if she didn't really have her mind all there, then how could she put on the shows that she does? Think about it. She couldn't. She couldn't. So, and I don't care. You may say, well, because she's brainwashed and everything. Well, isn't everybody kind of brainwashed in this matrix that we're talking about? Isn't everybody? So, yeah. Anyway, this is getting to be an hour-long video, and this is my first time that my second time I pre-recorded it. I didn't really just put it on Facebook. In fact, I'm going to upload it to Facebook and to YouTube. And with the help of my daughter, she'll help me with my YouTube. I was going to do it myself, but she wants to help. So, yeah. So I think I'm going to stop this video now and play it back and see how it looks before I ask her to upload it, and then I'll upload it to Facebook as well. So I'm glad to be back, and I promise you my next video, which will be on Facebook. This has been a long video, actually. That's why I like YouTube, that I can make longer videos. I can make long videos on Facebook too, but I've just had a lot to say. That's all. And as I said, that, about the Abba thing, great. I hope that the people that have gotten this, can go see Abba, the new singing concerts, like why not? I mean, to be honest, if this would have come out pre-COVID about the Abba concerts, okay, just another thing on Abba and their concerts, their new concerts. If this had come out pre-COVID and they were doing this before this, I would have said, sure, I'll try to get a ticket if I can. Sure, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But because you have to have this, and I am not getting that for no reason. So, yeah. And now that I know just what these avatars, there's an underlying kind of new idea to that as well, which I may do another video and I'll explain. But they are coming out in London, I guess. They're putting this new show out, I guess, in May of 2022. So, and then whenever they come, I guess they're going to be then lining up dates to come to Canada, the States. And I guess from what I've heard from the Abba people, they will be doing this for the next 4 years. So I guess you have to say, don't worry, as long as you have this, you can go and see it. So, but I wouldn't mind, like I said, I told my friend, I wouldn't mind getting a program because they are a beautiful band. And yeah, and also with the program, they have, things written in there. It would be nice to read maybe more on the Avatar concerts and stuff like that. And I guess they would have some information in there about how they made them, how long it took to make this new show, everything. And I'm not saying anything negative. I wouldn't do that to Abba. But there's just, I don't know. I just wanted to make a point, that why, the old reason why did we go see concerts, right? Okay. But other than that, I think that I have included everything that I want to include on my paper here. And I said Lionsgate was a tough one. And I've learned, another thing that before I go off, another thing I've learned is not to jump to conclusions. Not good. Because when one jumps to conclusions and you're talking about to friends and that, and you don't know exactly the whole story, and you're jumping to conclusions all the time, yeah, it can get quite messy. It can get quite messy. So, yeah. So I'm hoping that people will like this comeback video of mine, and I will try to do shorter Facebook videos from now on, just shorter ones, like 15 minutes. But I had a lot to say in this video, and I'm glad to be back. And yes, and so, and my daughter found out she had a low iron count. So she's got some medication for that. So her energy levels will be much better and brighter. And she'll be able to get her schoolwork done and get things that she needs done. So thank you, everybody. Namaste. Remember, we are all in this together. Don't just look to people like David Wilcock or Amanda Ellis or me to start with these videos. Each one of us has something to say. Think about it. Each one of us has to, get with it. Get these videos out there. Even if it's on TikTok. Same thing. TikTok, I've got TikTok too. I haven't really done much with it yet. I have to really figure out how to actually work that. But even on TikTok, you can make short videos for those who are not really into talking. You can do other things on TikTok and all kinds of things. You can make little ditties, make songs and stuff like that. And you can actually change your the photos to different just like you can have one version of you, and that can be in a line. Many people have been on TikTok, so my daughter was trying to help me with that. I'm going to try to do something with TikTok yet, I promise. But anyway, thank you for all being there and listening to me, and I'm glad to be back, and I promise I'm not going to go that far away again. It's been a long time in coming, this video, and I love you all. And actually, it's getting up to be an hour. I'm actually quite pleased with myself. So I love you all, and namaste, and be good to each other. And as remember the Irish Rovers, what they used to say at the end of their show? May you be a half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. Correct. Okay. Talk to you later, and I will be back soon. And with Diana too. I'm going to be doing more with my Diana. I will actually let you guys know what happens with that. And yeah, about this new thing that I'm going to be getting into as well, because I really want to get published. Okay, see ya.